Let's now get you an update on the deadly Hurricane Irma. After battering Cuba early on Saturday and killing at least 20 people across the Caribbean, Hurricane Irma is expected to strengthen again as it approaches the U.S. state of Florida. The U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami says Irma remains a Category 4 storm with maximum sustained winds of 209 kilometers per hour. It's prompted one of America's largest evacuations. About 5.6 million people in Florida and another 540,000 on the Georgia coast were ordered to leave their homes. Authorities have opened hundreds of shelters for people, and hotels as far away as Atlanta are filled up with evacuees. As Hurricane Irma makes its way towards the U.S. state of Florida, it has left deadly devastation on islands in the Caribbean Sea. Among the affected countries is Cuba, and for more on the impact of the Category 5 storm there, let's cross to our correspondent Michael Vos, who is live in Havana. Michael, what sort of damage has Hurricane Irma caused in Cuba?
Well, it's still going on. The hurricane is working its way along the northern coast here of Cuba. Here in Havana, we're just starting to get some serious gusts of wind, high waves. The area you see behind me, the flooding is just now starting. That's expected to get worse in the next couple of hours. Now, it was a Category 5 Hurricane Irma when it made landfall overnight in the northeastern part of Cuba, the Camagüey archipelago, and it's been working its way along the coast there. The town of Caribbean, a fishing town, was right on the I-pass, right next to it. It was completely flooded, about 8 feet of water. Then that's now receded, roofs blowing off, trees down. There's large areas without electricity, large amount of flooding, and this is such a huge storm. There are hurricane force winds more than 100 miles out from the center, and tropical storm force winds, which is what we're starting to get here in Havana now, spreading 300 kilometers. So even though it's passing along the northern coast, it's the whole of the island, north and south, is starting to get affected. 1 million people have been evacuated, including tens of thousands of tourists. They even evacuated 6 dolphins from an aquarium in the path. Right now, no reports of casualties, but the hurricane is continuing. It has yet to turn north and head towards Florida.
And Michael, how have authorities responded to this emergency, and what's being done to provide essential services to those in need?
Well, I mean, this is the largest island in the Caribbean, and they have a lot of experience of being hit by hurricanes. And Cuba has a very well-organized civil defense force. Warnings are issued, everyone is alerted. Every local authority knows in advance which areas are most at risk, who is most at risk, the elderly, the sick, the young, and which houses, which places are likely to withstand the damage. So they have well worked out evacuation plans in place long before it hits. And this is a country where when the authorities say it's time to evacuate, people do what they are told. Then you have post-recovery, where again, Cuba is well prepared. They've already moved emergency supplies into areas away from where the main storm damage is, and as soon as it passes, they'll be able to come and do some sort of relief. But at the same time, Cuba's economy is struggling. It doesn't have resources. It's already short of building materials for everyday needs. The recovery period is going to be difficult here.
Indeed, Michael. Thank you very much for joining us. Michael Vos in Havana.